And we in the mirror freaking building. What's going on? It's your boy Mr.OKl coming back at y'all again. Now, on your way in, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button, subscription button, and also hit that notification bell for you new subscribers that want to continue to watch the content. Guys, I have two special guests with me. Y'all know who they are, but I feel the need for them to introduce themselves again. Go ahead and real quickly, Killer Kawabo, IRTSTV, y'all introduce yourselves. Starting with you, Killer. Let's start with IRT.
What's going on, everybody? If you don't know who I am by now, then I'm sorry, but it's IRTS TV, aka I refuse to shoot, and we're back again with another video. If you watch my videos, you know where that comes from. Um, I'm just happy to be here, man. Appreciate you letting me come on your platform and just indulge in the taste that is. You know what I'm saying? So let's get
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely. Shout out to Lessons of a Housewife. We definitely do have some work coming soon. Me and Lessons of a Housewife will continue uh, that video we did prior to it messing up on us and things like that. Basically, just speaking on a housewife versus a strong and independent woman. Y'all stay tuned for that. Shout out to her. Kawabo, are you there with us, brother? We couldn't hear
Yeah,
you
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. I think my internet messed up, but I think I am back.
Okay, okay. We good to
All
go.
right, all right. I guess I'll give my little intro. My name is Killer Kawabo. You can check out my page, Men Operating in Reality. Usually at MGTOW Mondays, but I usually do live streams and just give y'all, some, MGTOW lessons.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, y'all seen the title. Y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. Let me read it out for y'all. Who controls the access to sex? I'm very, very, very adamant on that question. If y'all know me, y'all know I do tons of interviews, tons of videos with men and women on this subject matter. It also says most women deal with a minority of men. We all know through surveys, through real reality, and what you see outside. This is something that is proven time in and time out. Most women deal with a minority of men, and that's something that's important to bring out or point out in the dating market because it's an important key factor to why things do happen in the dating market. That being said, Killer Kawabo, IRTS TV. I asked you guys this 100 times. Make it short and concise. Who controls access to sex, men or women?
Women.
Women.
Okay, okay. Um, would you guys say most women deal with a minority of men, or do you guys think it's equal thing where, men and women are equally matched in the dating market as far as who they can deal with on a day to day basis?
Repeat that question one more time.
Okay, so let me repeat it again. Do you think most women are dealing with a minority of men? Do you think most men are dealing with a minority of women, or is it an equal playing field in the dating market?
Ah, okay.
So, in other
Well,
words, if you line up 10 women and 10 men, will it be an even match? And who can gain access to that person dating wise?
it's impossible. We're dealing with human beings, so it's definitely impossible for it to be an even match.
Okay.
So,
Killer, your take. Elaborate. Let's talk about it.
yeah, sure. So, well, if you think about it, women aren't the one that's actually chasing men, so they are gonna absolutely deal with the minority amount of men. As in men, they're going to be dealing with the majority of women because they have to go out and actually obtain women. Women have the inherent ability to just stand
Hold
one
on.
place.
You said men are going to be dealing with the majority of women.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so to break it down, if you a man has to go out and hunt, and nine out of 10 times he's not going to be able to receive or get what he wants. So for a million no's, that 1,000,001 yes was worth it. So he has to deal with way more women than a woman would have to deal with
Ah,
men.
I get you. I got you. Say
Hmm.
less. So guys, what he's basically breaking down, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the dating market, look at it like job applications. Men have to put in
Hmm.
100 applications just to get one job, whereas a woman will put five in, and damn near all of the jobs will be offered to her.
Hmm.
Is that a
Yeah,
good analogy?
That I mean, yeah, basically, because depending on the job. If the job requires you to just stand there and look pretty and not have to actually use majority of your intelligence, yeah, then that would be correct. But now, if it comes down to something else, something like where you have to use more than that, say let's say physical strength, okay, physical strength, you're not gonna really see the outcome of many women actually trying to get into that job, but you will see men trying to get into that job. Why? What? Why? Because they understand that they have to work, they have to get receive money, and they have to do what they have to do. So they will use their benefit, which is their strength, as for being a man, to obtain that job. So it all
Can-
depends on it's on many different factors, but that's just a simple one.
And don't let that go over your heads, guys. I know the job analogy kind of probably might throw some of you guys off, but it's basically just referencing the dating market. So great analogy, RT. Killer, chime in on this. 80% of women deal with 20% of men. Is that true or not?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with both of y'all. Yeah, a lot of women they like you said they only deal with like 20% of men, so, and they said they base off of that, and then also social media and television now they have all this fantasy whatnot. They think they see all this fantasy and stuff, and they think that's the representation of men
Right, right,
that's supposed to that they're supposed to deal with. So they only deal with those type of men, and
right.
so especially in terms of relationship or whatnot. And I definitely agree that a lot of men or men deal with majority of women because we got to go out and talk to women. We got to talk to at least 10 different women before we can get one to at least get interested in us.
Right.
Um, so
And
we are meeting a
you
lot
don't
of
even know if you're gonna close that deal.
exactly. You don't even know if you're gonna close that deal. Yeah, exactly. So and that's why this is a good title, who has access to sex, because a lot of women like to say that men have access to sex, but if that was true, we wouldn't have this whole incel. We would have none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely agree. Women, not to go too much on the tangent, but I definitely agree that women, they deal with the minority of men, and unfortunately, they base the majority of men on that minority.
That's
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Which is
that's the
why,
inherent value.
right,
I'm sorry, that's the inherent value that they have to deal with the least amount of men to maximize their ability.
Right.
If they handle many different men, then they're looked at as a harlot, so to speak.
Hmm.
So they gotta take heed with that. But now we live in a culture where uh, it's okay for a woman to spread her wings and fly, so to speak.
Right.
right.
But the problem that we have right there is that when you look at the nature of a bird, right? They're in a nest when they're born. They're in a nest, and the mother or the feeds them and nurtures them and teaches them the hard way, and she throws them out the nest, throws them out. They
That's a
gotta learn how to fly.
that is a
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
great example. Great
Right.
example, IRT.
And the problem that we have here with this situation is that many of the women who fell out the nest, so many of the birds or the female birds that fell out the nest, they didn't learn how to fly. Somebody just picked them
Hmm.
up and actually carried them home and actually
Oh my God, that was
taught
a
them
great
how to
example.
they fed them and taught them how to be good good birds, so to speak. So if a bird never learned how to fly on their own, it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult when they first start off, and they're just going to go out there and have a lot of fun, pick at a lot of birds, eat some berries that's probably poisonous for all we know. So it's kind of difficult. You know what I mean?
Good analogy. I like
Mhm.
that. I might have to steal that. Guys, y'all know me, man. Mr. OKl be in the field with it. So I want to review a video with the guys. Okay. Um, this is an interview I did with someone. And I basically asked them who controls access to sex. Without further ado, let's get right on into the video, guys. Y'all know what to do. Let me know if y'all need me to stop the video, pause it, whatever the case may be, in case y'all
All
want to
right.
break something down. Let's get right on into this video, guys.
Okay, for me, how I feel is at the end of the day is all on the men, but
So basically, I asked them who controls access to sex, men or women, et
Mm.
cetera, and we got into it right there.
okay, for me, how I feel is at the end of the day is all on the men, but the woman gonna have to say like, yeah, she gonna.
Oh, it's technical difficulties.
Hold on now.
But it's
Let's
up for us to choose.
hold
But it's
on.
up for the woman to say,
Listen to the question real quick. Who controls the access to sex?
oh, the
Access.
woman, the woman.
Okay. That we. All right. So let me ask you
I
this
thought too
question.
hard about that. You're right.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
the
right, right.
woman, without a doubt.
Who controls access to relationship?
Man,
Men. Okay. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this. We got somebody that says both. It doesn't work like that. A man has to have consent and permission from a woman to have sex with her. That's how it works. Am I wrong? God, am I wrong when I say that?
Nah, not at all, man. I don't know why. It's funny that you have to explain that, but then women are talking about my body, my choice. If you try to make a joke about that, they get mad at you, they shame at you like that. But then when you actually ask that question, controls access to sex, they would say it's both or it's men. Like it absolutely
Right.
mind boggles me.
That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Uh, I don't understand how people don't realize when the only thing both parties, male and female, uh, have the power or access to is introduction.
Mm.
So, if you think about it, let's say we're in a club, you're a male, you meet a female you like. The first interaction that takes place is eye contact. The eye contact, you do that, that continues with a man beginning the relationship standpoint. But the woman has to agree and the man have to agree. So when it comes down to that's the basis of what I mean by introduction. After that, then you have the woman who don't really have to come up to you. They may do something that's a little flattering to make them seem like they're the weaker spouse or something like that, of that manner, whatever. But the man has to come up to the woman usually. Can I buy you a drink? Hey, how are you doing? And that's when the introduction continues.
Hmm.
So both parties agree on those two things, and from there we work our way. We work our magic that we call macking or talking, things of that nature. And from there, we try and not belittle, but work our way into the axis that we know as sex, which women control. If a woman doesn't lay on her back or she doesn't even bat an eye at you, it won't start. So
It's
the
a
only
fact.
two things that
Yep.
male and female have is introduction. That's the power that both parties have.
Good point.
Hmm.
Um, so if that's the case,
Hmm.
who is who would you say is in control of the detriment in the dating market,
The
men or women?
the detriment.
detrimenting it.
Yeah, who's in control of the detriment? Let me let it play out, and we'll elaborate on that.
All right.
He is in control of the detriment in the dating market, men or women?
Detrimenting it.
Who is the detriment in the dating market, men or women? Who's causing more of the problems? Who's more mediocre?
Now that one I would probably say both because it's neither more than something
Okay,
one.
and it's just a question. I'm
You
not
can't even
saying
say
it's
one
men.
thing.
I'm not saying it's women. It's just a question.
I don't think it's women. I don't think it's women. I'm not gonna say that.
So he said he think it's both, and then at the end he says, "I don't think it's women." So obviously he agrees that it's the men who are the detriment. So let's elaborate. I see y'all have some points of contingency with that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I guess I guess the answer to that question is definitely women has been the most detriment to the relationship market. Just the fact that a lot of women will get into a marriage, they will have the children and whatnot, and then for some reason they're not happy or whatnot. A lot of marriages are are broken by the women. So we have that now, and then On top of that, we have the modern women are not being faithful. So a lot of these men are raising other men's children and don't even realize it. So we're dealing with a lot of that, and then a lot of your promiscuous women are just having babies out of wedlock to the these 20% of men that we are talking about. Um, and a lot of those men, they well, what a lot of people fail to realize, a lot of those men, they actually let these women know that I don't want to have your child. Say, don't, I'm not trying to have children with you or whatnot. And a lot of these women will still force this man to be a father without realizing thinking they're going to change him or whatever, and then
W-
get
Well,
told yes for that.
to your point, though, I agree. I have a point of contingency. Can't nobody force anybody to be a parent. The
Oh,
same way
true,
she
true.
she controls access, he controls himself leading inside of that vagina. So both parties should understand that a baby can come out of that. So if she
Hmm.
decides to have that child, then that is God's plan. That's God's order. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Oh yeah.
so which I don't get it twisted. I understand. We do live in a society today where there's contraceptives. We're not as traditional as we were in the past, but I do have to place accountability on both people. I
Hmm.
speak to my women just like I speak to my man. If you laid down with her and you didn't want a child, then you should have at least used the condom or just not had sex with her because you know what comes out of that. That's just
Hmm.
what it is.
True. True.
It's just what it is.
You're right. You're right. But I think, and I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think the reason why I put it like that is, um, like if we're gonna have a child, the best way is to have both parents in the home, and the best way when you have sex is to be married and be in a relationship
I
that
agree.
both y'all working together. But no, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. I guess I don't want to say I'm not trying to take onus away from the men. This is that with especially with the whole womanist movement going on, and with the whole who controls access to sex, and then who actually gives birth. Uh, Obviously, we know men don't necessarily have control of the woman's body. So
Right, right.
you're definitely right. You're definitely right.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree with your points too. I agree with your points too. I like to hold everyone accountable though,
Right. Hmm.
especially when it comes to the dating market and sex because that's the core of relationships and legacy.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay. Can I just step in a little bit there? I don't want
Sure.
to, but I
go ahead,
just
bro.
want to. I want to ask. Now the dating market is that. Do we include the sexual market into that,
No,
or do we separate those
well,
two things in this manner?
I'm not going to separate it because sex is a part of that. But
Okay.
when we talk about the sexual market, are you saying like the sex work and stuff like that?
Basically, yeah, because I mean, if you want to include women who are sexually promiscuous, but they don't really want to date, they just want to have a great time. Uh, do we fault the woman for having that mind state, or do we fault the man for falling for that mind state?
Mm.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
would, yeah, great,
That's a good
great,
question.
good question. I would fault a man. Well, first of all, that's a bad mind state to have as a woman in this world. But
Okay.
you know how it is. Women are going to do what they do in this world. But I will fault the man because, like I said, we have to realize what's in front of us. We're visual creatures. So if you're in the dating market and you're looking for a wife, and you're looking for kids or whatever the case may be, and you have sex with a stripper or you have sex with an OnlyFans girl that you fell in love with or whatever it is, that's your fault 100% if you have a baby with her.
Hmm.
That's your
Mm.
fault because you knew what you were dealing with. You So my suggestion to that would be for a man not to go dating inside of the sexual market, but find women in the actual dating market, which is I'm going to answer your question that you asked initially. I want to separate the sex workers and I want to keep it strictly just the dating market.
Mm.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we'll include the women that go to clubs to have fun, but we'll
Right.
take away the OnlyFans girls, we'll take away the escorts, we'll take away all of them because we clearly know what they're doing.
Right.
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 So yeah, because they've made their mind, they've made their decision very clear
Hmm.
on what they're doing.
Right.
No matter the outcome, their decision has been decisive. I mean, precise. So I mean, when I hear that, that's why I wanted to, break that down a little bit more.
Mm.
So just to go forward with answering your question about, or following off what this guy said. I said that I like what you're saying. Both parties do need to take accountability. Um, the man, he wasn't. He didn't. How should I say this? He didn't make it clear enough to the woman that, hey, look, this is what I want. This, and this. That's a
Mm.
lack of education and a lack of knowing what you want. And the woman, she she had her issue was the lack of understanding.
Mm.
So she didn't understand herself enough, nor the man enough to actually know what she wants or
Um,
know what's needed of her. Excuse me.
well, the thing is this, right? Not to cut you off, but I would argue that a man can tell a woman 100 times, "I don't want a baby with you," and
Hmm.
in the back of her mind, she'll still have a baby with him.
Right.
And you know
That's
what I'm
why.
saying? Even if they having sex raw, he's like, "Look, if you happen to get pregnant," he has a couple talks with her, and both of them agree that if the baby comes, abortion has to come, or whatever the case is. And
Mhm.
there's been plenty cases where women said, "Fuck it, I'm still gonna have this baby."
Very true, and that's what I mean by the lack of understanding. They don't understand the outcome. They may not understand the outcomes of what's going to be next. They're stuck in a delusion of not gander, grandeur. Excuse me. A delusion of lust and not an inclusion of love. So they're
Mm.
looking at it like, okay, I lust after this person to the point where I'll put myself in a demeaning manner where I have to raise another person that may have the same faults as that man that came to her, and also my faults as well, because we got to understand a baby carries both male and female mind states, and the only thing you're doing is passing on the legacy, yes, of course, of the man, and if that man wasn't able to educate his woman enough so that her understanding was pure and precise, then the only thing that's gonna happen is that you're gonna create a child that has that same mind state. So when I look at it, when you say both, I understand exactly what you mean, because it's the lack of education from both male and female,
Mm.
bringing that mind state into the world for a baby or for
Right.
another child. So it's I like what you're saying, bro. I
Right.
get what
Shout out to Breezy, by the way. Shout out to Breezy. Oh, and I agree with you, by the way. Let me read what she says. Most women come across that are doing or that are dating say this guy is the one. So they are dating with the idea to grow together, but it doesn't work out for whatever reason. Hmm, that's interesting.
you're
Most women she comes across that are dating say this guy is the one. So they are dating with the idea to grow together, but it doesn't work out for
Uh,
whatever
uh,
reason.
I I think I break that down. That's the problem right there. Where they say this guy is the one. That right there is the problem.
That's
They
lust.
thinking that there's a one, that there's a special person, there's a soulmate. That's for marriage. That's not what marriage is about. And it's so funny that people use the term the one in the movie The Matrix. If y'all, because that's get the idea, whatever.
Mm-mm-mm.
He was looking for the one. But in the second movie, they found out all that was bullshit. So it's like, oh, they find out that the one was just manufactured by the Matrix, and it's supposed to be like, oh, as somebody's gonna be looking for the one all the time. So when he find out, he was like, oh shit, that shit was
That's a
broken
fact.
down. So it's like, that's the problem right there. They're thinking it's the one. They're thinking it's a fairy tale. Both men and women. They're thinking that it's a fairy tale. It's a Disney movie. Then when you actually get together, they find out there's something she don't like about this guy. He does something he don't like. She does something he doesn't like, and it goes on to the point where you realize when you're married together, you got to be together for the rest of your lives, especially when you have children. Especially if you got children, it doesn't matter if you're divorced. Y'all got to deal with each other, and there's going to be some things that you will not like about each other. And then when they find that out, they'll be like, fuck it, and then they break it down. So that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Just thinking that it's going to be a fairy tale and it's going to be all that type of shit.
I agree. I agree.
Hence the
And this
lack of
woman
education.
continue this video.
All right.
Or the no, so
Okay. And it's just a question. I'm not
Maybe gonna
saying
say
it's
one
man. I'm
percent.
not saying it's woman. I'm just. It's just a question.
I don't think it's women. I don't think it's women. I'm not gonna say that. Just like I don't think it's men. It's just it depends on the situation.
So you would
Oh, that's
say
what he said.
both
Okay.
men and women are hand in hand when it comes to the detrimental things that are going on in the dating market.
1,000%. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's been studies. 80% of women are dealing with 20% of men. Let me give you a further example. If you ask your typical woman, she could be fat, she could be ugly, unsuccessful, live with her mama, strong and independent, have her own shit. They are still shooting for the top guy. They want a man that's 6 feet and above. They want a man that makes 100K and above. They want a man that can take care of home, et cetera, et cetera. They don't want that $50,000 man. They don't want that $60,000 man because he can't take her on the trips. He can't spoil her, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying all, but most women are shooting for these types of guys. Would you agree with me when I say that?
Of course, 1,000%. But why wouldn't they?
Look, I'm not blaming them.
Yeah.
I'm
Aren't they
there's
killing
ain't nothing
children?
wrong with it. Rest in
Why
peace to the
wouldn't
Clemens.
they? At the
Hold
same
on, we got
time,
hold on. Hit me with a rematch. We got to give a
it was a troll account, bro.
at the like the windshield sensation. So women, they date up. They don't date down. Men can date down. Women can date up. It's called hypergamy. And I don't blame women for that. Women should choose a man that can take care of her and a man that's better than her, quote unquote. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a fact that most women choose a minority of men?
What's going on here?
What I mean by that is this: if you put 100 women and 100 men in a room, 10 of those men make 100K, and the rest are just average. All those women are going to want those 10 men. They're not going to look at those other 90 men. They
Hmm.
all of them going to be
Oh
fighting
yeah,
for them 10 men.
yeah. It's a reason for that though. Women, I don't know why it's like that.
It's
They just
it's a value
sentimental
thing.
to it. It's been the same shit. Right?
It's a value thing. See, I can tell you we read some of the comments as we lessons of a housewife. Y'all can hear me? All right,
I
cool.
Yeah.
hear you.
Lessons of a housewife. Kids replicate the gender of themselves. Daughters follow mothers. Sons follow fathers. Without both, the kids are confused of the role they need to take on.
You're
Precisely.
absolutely right.
Precisely.
Hmm.
Exactly what I was talking about earlier when I said that
Right.
we take on.
Precisely.
I don't see it as they don't replicate the gender. They
Hmm.
both they replicate the environment. Um, so if a mother's doing things in the house where it's odd, what I'm saying, and it's not what we consider to be a regular household between male and female or man and woman,
Hmm.
um, then obviously, the scale is gonna tip a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting at when it comes down to the environment. Because if say that child understands, but miraculously that child is smart enough to say, you know what, I don't think this is kind of healthy, right? So they go out into the world and they start to perceive life in a different route, meaning you have a issue. Say, I'm sorry, you have a man, right? He's raised with a single mother. The mother in the house, let's say she's in and out, she's bringing men in and out the house. And that man sees that, right? Typically, we think that the man would be probably a hoe. Why? Because he understands that a woman doesn't do anything other than bring bring men into the house all day and day in and out. So he will go out there and turn into a player. But there's an opportunity where that guy can be like, you know what? this ain't right. So he goes out and he learns something different. So now he becomes one of the greatest. He becomes a great law abiding citizen, and he has a wife, kids, and he lives life right. But there is still a chance that he may become a player as well. And if you use that, you can use it as well for women as well. They may come out here and become a hoe, or
No, that's
hopefully,
absolutely facts. That's absolutely
Hmm.
facts.
and raise.
Most childless homes produce uh, most single parent homes that are raised raising children with the mother only in the home.
Hmm.
These children are coming out incompetent. Most of them are going to jail. Most of them are on antidepressant. Most
Yeah,
of them are pimps and players. Most of them have
Yeah.
multiple baby moms. Most of them become drug addicts. Most of them go to jail,
Hmm.
and the
I,
list
I
goes on
recently
and
just
on.
I recently just saw a video where it was like a single mom was dealing with with the 12-year-old. She took his phone and the 12-year-old destroyed the whole apartment, like
It actually
everything.
wasn't. It actually wasn't a 12-year-old. It was a 15-year-old, and he
Oh, 15.
this it was a big 15. He was about six. He was more than 6 feet. He was like 6'2" and like 220 or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel you though. I find it funny. Like we never see the fathers in the household when we see things
Hmm.
like that. I want to move on to the next comment. And Jolly responded to you, Killer Kawabo. She says, "Right, Killer Kawabo. But why is it so easy for people to throw the towel in over little discrepancies you don't like about one another? What happened to sticking it out?"
Oh, that's simple. We just don't have duty no more. We don't have duty. We don't have none of that. I ain't talking about just women. Men, we still got it to an extent, but I mean, modern men, we kind of lost it. But like most of the time, like we're selfish. We're only thinking about ourselves. We're thinking about what we want in a relationship. And then when we don't get what we want, we're just like, okay, I don't. We're not gonna deal with it no more. We're just gonna back away and not stick it out anymore. Like back in the day, like people used to say, like uh a lot of families they would meet each other. They would meet new brothers and sisters when the father passed away because the father was say Pop was a Rolling Stone, whatever. That
Right,
means
right.
that means like the dad was getting around, and sometimes the mom knew, but she realized it's not about her; it's about the family. So I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna stick it out for the children and the family and whatnot. Um, Not to say that you have to deal with that as a woman, a minor woman, but if you building a family, if you're trying to build a family, sometimes you gotta deal with some bullshit, and the men as well. The men as well. Uh, we don't like a woman with attitude so much, so we can be quick to drop a woman depending on your status. Now, there's factors, but a man, especially the 20% man, he can be quick to drop a woman and give it a different woman like that, and don't even care or whatnot. So just the selfishness
I,
of modern relationships nowadays.
I want to say this. The reason why they're not sticking it out, I think, is because duty duty comes with the lack of resources, the
Hmm.
lack of options. So duty, like you were saying back in the day, a woman knew she had to take care of kids, be in the house. Man had to go out there and do what he had to do.
Hmm.
That was a duty. That was a role. But now, with options, there's no lack of resources. There's no lack of understanding.
Hmm.
So now they have stuff like the social media
Yep.
where a woman can go on their phone, a kid can go on their phone. They can literally use that device and find more options. Usually, when you see an environment or a culture, the people around them around are marrying each other. You
Hmm.
they would usually marry their high school sweetheart. They'll marry somebody they went to school with. But now, with the option and the ability to meet somebody way in West Bubblefuck, you can actually open up your options now. So now you don't have to settle for what's near you or what's around you. So when you have that kind of ability, we understand that we're supposed to be abundant mindset. So we go out here. We don't really care about. Let's be for real. When you're in the stage of just looking for sex, we don't really care about how that woman may be, just how she would feel for that moment. And the woman, hence, they're looking for Mr. Perfect, and while they're looking for Mr. Perfect, they're forgetting that their inherent value comes with the lack of usage. so to speak. So they're going out here and just making their face
Mm-hmm.
known to every man, letting their body be known to every man that they consider to be almost Mr. Perfect while trying to search for Mr. Perfect. And
Mm-hmm.
then now you have a whole society of that we look at called social media. So now a woman doesn't have to sit here and say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this man because of XXYXX, right? Now they can just go out and say, you know what, the Y doesn't match up with the other X's. I'm gonna go ahead and try to find somebody that have all the X's for me.
Yep.
So, it's a mind game being put on both male and female, and they're just blind to it. Their perceptions of reality is really, really fogged at the moment because when you receive so much information just like that, but you don't have any education in that information that you're receiving, the only thing that's going to happen to your mind is going to be chaotic. It's going to be chaos. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you think about it, when you go to church, you're using that from when you're a kid, when you're a child. You start with Sunday school, you go with Bible studies, and you have people around you that have been there for God knows how long, and they're teaching you and showing you many different things that are right and that are wrong. But now you can go online and you can find out what's right or wrong for you, not for the society, just for you,
Mm-hmm.
and that opens up a lot more options. So this is a situation that's been going on for a very long time now.
Yep. Totally agree. Totally agree.
All right, let's close out the video. True story. When I was about 15, 16 years old, I had snatched a girl and she was a virgin. And we were having conversations, the cook talks and caking up and shit like that. And she told me one thing. She said she would rather a man that had sex with women before, um, as opposed to a man who's a virgin, even though she was a virgin,
Check her
because
virginity.
of the experience.
Hmm.
Women like
Mm-hmm.
a man with experience.
Yeah.
Women like a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So if we root it back, wouldn't we say that women are choosing a minority of men? Because most men ain't out here leading. Most men ain't got 100K. Most men ain't able to fly bitches out and all that shit.
Mm. That's real.
So
That's
let's go
real.
back then. So who would be the detrimental factor in the dating market then, men or women?
You want to go all the way back? Uh, I'm still gonna say the same answer, bro.
I got you. I
Uh,
got you. I got you.
uh, it's still the same for me, bro. I feel like it's both, bro. You can't choose one.
I, if you ask me personally, I would say women hold most of the detriment because they have more
Mm.
options than men. It's just point blank and period. Any thoughts, guys?
Um,
Any thoughts?
I do, but I mean, I feel like I've already talked enough as is. Because yo, I always try to find the balance in everything. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And unfortunately, like I was finding that out. Uh, Sometimes you have to you put yourself in a bullshit role because many people want you to have this assertiveness. So when I look at the detriment to dating in the dating world, it's both men and women, bro. Reason be, like I said before, bro, it's men having that, not giving women the knowledge that they need, and
Mm-hmm.
it's women just being quote unquote stupid. Like some women just are out here just being stupid, and some men are just out here playing on that stupidity. And other people, we gotta understand, we human beings, bro. We see that happening. You know what I'm saying? And we sitting here, and we gonna sit here and continue to see it happen. And luckily, there's people like us who see that happening, and we're trying to decipher out who's right and who's wrong, right? But uh, when it comes down to it, dating is just an action between two people. So
Mhm.
both
I got you. I got you. I understand what you're saying.
hmm
It's just the numbers don't line up when it comes to just looking at it from a concrete man and woman standpoint. Because most men out here, there's a reason
Your mic went
So,
off, my guy.
uh,
that
all
I
right.
say there's a reason why you got have incels. There's a reason why you got MGTOW. There's a reason why TLC made the song "I Don't Want No Scrubs." There's a
hmm
reason why 30% or I believe it's 31% of men are either virgins or haven't had sex in a year plus. There's a reason why there's an 80% divorce rate, and these things weigh on the woman.
Very true.
So,
Mhm.
like,
And
what do you say to what do you say to most of the men that go through that? Because most men go through that.
right,
51% of men, and we're gonna speak on our community. 51% of black men are childless and single. 64% of them are in the middle class, well suitable enough to pay for a woman's lifestyle. Yet they don't have children. They're not out here making kids out of wedlock. They're not out here messing up the dating market. They're the ones that get looked over. What do you say to them?
I'll tell you this, young man. If you out here and you sitting in your house and you hear this by any
They're not
chance,
just young. They're not just young. They just old men too.
very
40 years
true.
old.
Young or
Yep.
old man, let me rephrase it then.
Mhm.
Man, if you out here, if you're not out here, so to speak, let's say that. If you're not out here and you're not giving looking at attention to detail and you're not taking action, what's the what ability do you have when you lack action? What do you do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna stay stagnant.
Mhm.
So the only option that you have is to tighten up, learn something that's gonna allow you to find a mate that's gonna be for you. If you ugly, you better go out here and find you an ugly girl too, and y'all make it work and make some ugly ass babies. If you scared and you timid, yo, bro, I'm telling you, get up, get out your mind, go out here and just proceed with action. And I don't mean it in a negative light. It's gonna benefit you because the only thing that you have is what you know and the people that allow you to access what you know. So stop bullshitting yourself, thinking that you're doing the right thing by just sitting in the house all day eating and getting acne and doing all this whatnot. When I was a kid, when I was young, I didn't want to interact with women because I was shy and timid, just like you probably. But the one thing I decided to do was take action. Just like any other man who goes out here and do something, any other woman that does something, they went and took action.
Mhm.
So that's your
No,
first step.
I agree with that. I agree
Yeah.
with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. I can see.
I can honestly say ever since I was young, I've been getting approached by women my whole life type shit. So I live a little kind of a different dynamic.
I can. I was gonna say I can see both of y'all points because you're definitely right. But men do have to tighten up. Like you always got to be the best you can be, and a lot of times these men do fall for these women tricks. Like women say they want this type of man, they want this type of man. They overdo it. Like if like we said, we open up our emotions and whatnot. We overdo it, and then we mess up with dealing with that woman or whatnot. And we will trick on a woman, not get nothing, and we get mad off of that. Like, what the hell? She talking money, all that dumb shit like that. So we do fall for the tricks. But I do see what you're saying too. Okay, L. I do. A lot of men do be getting to the relationships and do get married, and for some reason, after 10, 20 years, the woman is like, okay, I want a divorce. For some reason, I'm not happy for any type of reason, and so it falls dead.
Look at look at Tom Brady.
Yeah. No, you see Sylvester Stallone now. You see these celebrities. And I think of the regular man. The average man that has to go through that. So
Right, right.
there's a talking point where men who actually are in relationships and been on for long term, or it depends on long term. It depends. Like it can go bad. So there's
Okay,
a contention to go kind of go with both talking points. To be honest with you.
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Jolly Breezy says this. He says, "Wow, that's crazy." Pertaining to the story I told.
Mm.
If I were a virgin, I would want a virgin because I know we are both clean. Guys, that I got to do a show on that because I strongly disagree with that, Jolly Breezy. I
Hey,
strongly disagree.
Adam and Eve were both virgins, and they knew what they were doing.
I get that. I get that.
I'm only
Well,
teasing. I'm only
it
teasing.
kind of goes back to women nature. The reason why she wanted a man that's experienced, and that's another reason why women will date a guy that's older or whatnot. They want to kind of want to learn. You know what I'm saying? They kind of want to
Right,
more
right.
experiences, so they want a man who's experienced to kind of teach her. So it kind of goes to women nature. That's why you know what I'm saying. It was you were definitely right, Jalen. Like Breezy, like that should be the idea. But again, to the woman's nature, they want a man who could teach them something and take them to all different type of experiences and physically, mentally, all that type of stuff.
I
If you
get it.
want,
I get it.
if you
I
want to be
get it.
biblical, with what she's saying, I can understand. Reason being, and I'm not trying to pander to the lady, but I'm just putting it to you like this. The reason why I brought up Adam and Eve is because it's simple. It's simple math. Adam and Eve were both virgins.
Mm.
Eve was created from his rib, but unfortunately, Eve was a slave to somebody who had experience. She got taught.
Mm.
She learned from experience, and then she tried to bring it down to the man, and the man, unfortunately, had to suffer consequences. So these women out here that's looking for experience
I got
now,
it, man. Good. I gotta ask good. I gotta ask Good Bread about this one, man.
looking for
Good Bread, where
Yo,
you
experience,
at?
for
they might be good for you.
Let me drop the
They
egg.
might
Hold
be
on.
good for you. So just take heed with this experience thing, because that experience that you may be looking for, uh,
Hey, Good Bread, jump your ass on over here real
consequential.
quick, man. I need the
May-
Bible God in the building for this one.
Maybe very consequential. I say that all the time too. A lot of
Now,
people
that's
they I,
crazy. You said Adam and Eve were both virgins.
remember that.
That
That's
that's a
from
that's a good point. Well, no,
yeah.
I believe Eve was virgin. I believe that. I
who.
just
If Eve was a virgin, then where did Adam? Then what was
no, I'm
Adam
not
doing?
saying he's not. I
Okay,
just need Mr. Goodbread to get up here.
okay. I just clarify for me. There we
Oh,
go.
what's good, Mr. Good Bread?
Salute, salute. What's up, panel? Yo, y'all always cooking, man. Yo, listen. We need y'all to deliver more. Okay, man. We need you to deliver more of this type content in the righteous sphere. Because
That's a
this is
fact.
that righteous content. This is the righteous content right here. This is the content where we ain't gonna kid you. We ain't gonna sell you on some dopamine fix of wanting to hear stupid shit about women. You know what I mean? We gonna give you some self-improvement. We gonna give you some self-awareness. We gonna give you some female nature, all that. You know what I mean? Because a great man need all of that. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me hit the
Fact.
sound. We gonna give you some female nature.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
Yeah, but yeah, yo, that's a great ass point. And yo, I agree. Adam and Eve was both a virgin, bro. Remember,
Mm.
that was the whole purpose of them covering up with the fucking. That's how God knew they did some fuck shit. Cause when he came to them, they was covered, and he like, what y'all know about being covered if y'all didn't do some fuck shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Okay.
remember,
Yeah.
remember that the apple, it also, well, because I know some people don't like the apple, the fig, the grape, the pomegranate, whatever the fuck you want to call it,
That
right?
fruit.
She ate from the tree of knowledge, not the tree of life. It could be, this whole gender war could be totally different. We could be talking about who gonna outlive each other. We're not talking about that. We actually argue with our sisters over who's smarter, who know better than the other. That's all go
Bingo.
to the tree the tree that we ate from.
Bingo.
Precisely.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a whole fact, bro. That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact, yo. We didn't know. We was virgins, bro. We didn't know. We did
Well,
not know.
then it just goes back to what Jalen says. Because okay, you might be an exception, but do most women want virgin men? Do most women want pure men today? I don't think so.
How can
I
they?
disagree.
How can they?
I do. They do. Women want a naive man today. They want a virgin-minded man. They want a
Well, but
virgin-minded
but
man.
hold on, wait. But she says if she were a virgin though, not these permit the virgin women.
Yo, but female nature want what they can't have. Female nature don't give a fuck if they virgin or not. They want a virgin man. They want traditional men while
Mm,
they be modern women. You know what I mean?
mm.
And it go, and I want a monkey branch off of something. I think the brother on the panel, IFTS said. You know what I
It's
mean? They
IRTS.
RSTS TV.
All right, to you.
RSTS. I
T
be
yeah,
getting confused. My bad.
It's
yeah. I know he
IFTS.
switched it on me today. So you know what I mean? But on word, you gotta look at it like this, bro. Modern women were taught to be stupid. You know what I mean? The women were traditional, and Eve was traditional. Eve was following Adam's lead until Lilith, the woman with experience. It took a woman with experience, somebody who was already in that garden and knew the significance of those two trees. You know what I mean? This is why we say the snake and the serpent and all of that, but we know who that snake and that serpent was. You know what I mean? It wasn't Satan, bro. Because Satan, they had the guys at the gate for his ass. It had to be somebody that knew how that garden was, how it looked, what where the trees was, where Adam go and Eve will be left by herself. It had to be somebody that knew the pattern of the garden, and it shows today. These modern, these hell of a mothers not teaching they fucking kids. The older women not teaching the younger generation nothing but how to be stupid, yo, and how
Mm.
to be Lilith and how to do the
Got you.
Eve.
Right.
Shout out to the bell in the building, by the way. Shout out to Big Bro. I hope y'all hit that like button too. I hope y'all did that already. If y'all haven't done so already,
I want to ask you something because biblically, I'm not biblically sound, and to me, it seems that you are. Um, I know the basics.
Bible guy.
Yeah, I know the basics, Mr. Goodbray. I know the basics, right? But you stated that Lilith was the person that was in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah,
That shared that information.
that all right, Lilith, guys. Y'all know that's my whole how you say that? Like that's what my whole channel is garnered after.
Okay.
Eve is Adam's second wife. You see, in this red pill space, they so basic and with the fundamentals that they nobody ever went to do the research. So they make Eve out to be the woman who all modern woman is. Eve is not the modern woman. Eve is the traditional naive woman that us men need to be going after. Lilith was Adam's first wife.
Uh,
Lilith is the first wife of Adam. She was the wife that was created from the clay along with Adam.
Mm.
Because they were created from the same material, this woman felt she didn't need to be under Adam. She needed to be equal or on top of him. This is why she never let Adam hit it from the back. She never switched up positions. She always was on top of Adam. And if you research Lilith, you're probably going to see a picture of her on top of some, you know what I mean? She's always dominant. She is all of the modern woman's spirit. You know what I mean? She is all of the modern woman's spirit.
what
And
book?
and and that and that and the red pill gloss over that for some weird reason. They gloss over that character. They talk about Jezebel, they talk about this, they talk about that, but they don't talk about Lilith and they don't talk about the anti-Mary. They don't talk about those two characters, and those are the hell of a mothers of all mothers. So if anything, these little prostitute chicks that's running around here, they Jezebels. But them educated lame old women, them feminist minded with the educations and the degrees, those are gonna be your Liliths.
Mm.
And this is
So
why when they hit the wall and they get ugly and they can't use their beauty, they start to use their teachings and they try to teach the feminism. They try to teach the laws of feminism.
can I ask? I like. I just not a little back and forth here. So Lilith, what book can you find the first teachings of Lilith? May I ask?
You're gonna have to go into some you're gonna have to go into the off scriptures of the Bible. You're gonna have to go into Enoch's.
There
You're
we go.
gonna,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. And this is the reason why the red pill stays away from it, I guess. This is just an opinion. I would think that they stay away from it because it's not in the moral and standard basis that is America. The moral
Mm.
standard basis of America is the New and the Old Testament. First we were in the Old Testament, now we're in the New Testament. If correct me if I'm wrong.
no, you're
That's
right. You're right.
that's the way we make our laws in America at least. So now we have that. Many people or many churches don't teach about the forbidden books. That's why I had to ask if it was from. It sounded like it was from Enoch, because when I heard about Lilith, I heard that Lilith was actually Lucifer's wife.
Yeah, yeah. He turned her into his wife, but she didn't
Right.
start out as his wife. She started
Okay.
out as Adam's wife. That was Adam's first wife. But then when she ran off, remember, she ran off from Adam because Adam told on her. Adam told on her stupid ass. Adam went to her like, yo, the lady that you left me, she's not working out for me. This is why I tell you guys, Adam is a beta male. There's a difference between simp and beta male. You see, a
Okay.
simp would have simped after Lilith. A simp would have just folded. A simp would have never went to the God like, yo, bro, you got to do something with this bitch. You know what I mean? Adam went to God and he set his ass on the rock and was lonely as hell until God created Eve for him. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And to answer that, American society gets rid of the those books in the Bible because think about it. When the Bible was written, so they might as well get rid of the Bible too. Why keep the Bible? Because the Bible was definitely written for the patriarch. That's why they didn't write her Lilith, so to say, in there, because she went against the patriarch. So he kicked the ass out of the book. He didn't write it in. He wrote it in. He wrote Eve in because that's the order. These are the. You know what I mean, it wouldn't have made no sense to put the bitch that runs off and did not want to follow the structure in there. But she's also mentioned in Matthew's when he talks about the lake of fire. It's a verse where her name is mentioned. Her name is mentioned
Yep.
in the regular book as
Yep.
Lilith.
Mm.
Yeah, it's in Matthews. It's somewhere in Matthews. I get it. Yo, we'll stumble over it at the school, guys. Y'all already know.
That's a fact.
But yeah,
That is a
she
whole
mentioned
fact.
twice. In fact, she's mentioned twice in our standard New Testament, Old Testament. You know what I mean? She's mentioned twice. But that is a great point because they do like even the Catholics and the Catholics is she the Catholics don't even like to mention her. You go to a Catholic church and mention the name Lilith, and it's like spook. It's like spook. But they use her in all of their little movies. If y'all can remember, Jada Pinkett had a little web series out, a little series out where she was playing Lilith, the Lilith character in one of the movies, one of the little series she was doing. But they always use the Lilith character. She the
Mm-hmm.
mascot of feminism. She is
Mm.
the mascot of feminism.
Mm-hmm.
This is very interesting.
Lessons of Housewives says men involving themselves with women early understands female nature better. My opinion. I'm gonna read that one more time.
I agree.
Men involving themselves with women early understands female nature better.
I definitely
And
agree.
it kind of coincides with the point that I was bringing and the story I told about the virgin girl who wanted a man who already had experience, preferably over a man who didn't have experience, even though she didn't have experience. It's a mindset thing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole mindset things. And I do disagree with the fact. I'm just gonna keep it real. I do disagree with the fact that a man has to be a virgin to deal with a virgin woman.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. That's
Yeah.
a
I
fact.
disagree with
I
that.
disagree with that, bro. I disagree with that. Like, I disagree with a lot of the shit that people in this worldly world want to do. Like, it's such a cherry pick type of world. Like, we want to play. You know what I mean? It's like ah man, I can't even explain it. But it's some fuck shit because I can't even
Right.
explain it. But they try
I
to woo
understand
us with
exactly
the
what you're saying.
we're gonna play by your rules, right?
We have
The
to.
Bible say the law of the land is marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then the rules and the commands and the demands and the prophecies in the Bible is written as if we was gonna play this thing on a real playing field, marriage, right? The laws of the land in the worldly world is not marriage. So you're not gonna hold us men that know our shit and know how to be biblical. You're not gonna hold us to what the biblical say while you play this worldly game and then be like, but your Bible say you supposed to, no, 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 bitch. Marriage mean merge. Marriage mean
Exactly.
to merge. You know what I mean? So
Become
when I
one.
stick my
Hmm.
dick in you, we are married, yo. When we break up, we are divorced. And it goes from there. We're gonna take the template and put it to what it is right now. We're not gonna play this, oh, but nobody's married. You know what the fuck the man meant when he said wife and marriage and this. He was assuming we would have read them basic instructions before we started building shit and before we started building shit without reading the instructions. That's what everybody did. Everybody built their own shit off their own instructions, thinking they know everything because we ate the apple of knowledge, and our shit is hanging there. Some niggas knew better. Some niggas took they shit. Some niggas threw their whole shit down, like myself. Took that whole shit down, threw it down, no problem, and then went to the instructions and built my shit back. Some niggas just gonna sit there in front and cap and crab leg like if what they built is solid and it ain't shit because it's not according to the instructions. Period.
And you see when you say something like that, I like that because you got to think about America. America was built on the Bible, so to speak, but it isn't built on all teachings of the Bible.
Exactly.
Like you just said just a while ago, there's many books taken out, to create what we think is correct. So if we have something like that, that's just our moral compass. Unfortunately, how can America or any other country that is using the Bible that we have right now to actually stand and have a foundation that is so strong? It's bound to fail because
Mhm.
it's not telling you the complete truth. You only given what has been told to you. So I
I agree.
mean, many people now are finding out what you're finding out, Mr. Goodbread, and it's now we're at a battle between knowledges, a battle between instinct, a battle between action. There's so many different types of battles coming on, but who ultimately is going to win the war? That's going to be the interesting part that I'd like to. Hopefully, I'm old enough to see, but I'm a little timid to see where it might go, because war is an ugly thing, and right now we're looking at how ugly it can get.
Mhm.
Facts, though. I agree with that. It's the exact Tower of Babel. Remember when he sent down the languages? The languages wasn't Spanish and French and English. The
Mhm.
languages was point of views. The
Hmm.
language was point of views and how well we're gonna see and understand each other. You know what I mean? To prevent one man from trying to be so powerful and climb up there to him and pretend to be him. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So that's why he did it. It's Tower of Babel. That's why I say it's a biblical war. The gender war is a biblical war, man. It's not man versus woman. It's not man versus man.
Mhm.
It's good versus
It's
evil.
just evil.
That's a
Thank
fact.
you.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
not.
That's a fact.
It's not. Those are
That's
battles
Yep.
in
that's a
the
fact.
war. That's why I wanted to hear when he said when I was talking about the war, because the war is all about good and evil,
Mhm.
Yep.
good and bad. That's the war.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Saying
we at war with ourselves.
Mhm.
Yep.
That being
With it.
said, guys, that being said, not to get too long with it, I got to be on my purpose very soon. As
yes,
much as
sir.
I want to keep the show going, man, this has been a great show. We are going to continue this. We definitely going to continue this
Yes, sir.
conversation. Um, so let's go ahead. Let's take it around the circle. Start with you, Killer. IRTS you next, and then Good Break gonna close the show out.
All right. Again, my name is Killer Kawabo. If you guys want to check me out, y'all can go to my page, Man Operating Reality, a MGTOW page. Uh, if man, you really trying to go big town and kind of purge women out your life, man, you can definitely check me out. Or if you just want to learn some lessons for the day, you can check out my live stream. Just go hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and I definitely appreciate it.
Okay, okay, I heard him. I refuse to shoot you up.
Yes, yeah. So, people, again, man. So, okay, let's talk TV. Definitely appreciate you letting me in the on the panel on the chat. This man woke me up. I mean, I was sleeping. I was up from like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning today. You know what I mean, and went to sleep. thankfully he woke me up. So I appreciate you for allowing me to share that blessing of waking up for another day too as well.
Yeah,
You helped me out with
that's
that.
it.
Got my day started. So
Get your ass up, man.
um this conversation is it's not going to end here. This is just the beginning of the age of knowledge, unfortunately, and in the age of knowledge comes next the age of technology. So when those two combine, we're gonna have to tighten up and button up and stick to what we not to what we know, but what we should understand, and hopefully it's the correct look on life. But anyway, like I always say, man, make sure you call somebody you love, man, and tell them you love them because you never know when you're gone. And I hope that sticks with you. And call somebody you love, man. Real.
100, 100. Great message, my brother. Great message.
Mm-hmm.
Jolly Breezy says, "Killer, purge woman out." No,
Come to my page and check it out. Come to my page and check what I'm talking about. Go to the page. Check what I'm talking about.
good Brad. Give us a closeout, man.
All right, yo, it's been a good one. I know I came in late. I came to the dean office late, but again, you know what I mean? It's always late. Better here than not. You know what I mean? And I appreciate the panel, man. I appreciate the panel, and I want to give you your roses, OKL, because you know what I mean, you've been working with me behind the scenes to be more articulate, you know what I mean, and pronunciate more and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because you know I got the sauce, but you've been fine tuning me, bro. You fine tune me, bro. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you. I may get all the accolades and shit, but you know, bro, you know I'm a real leader, so I always gonna salute squad. You know what I mean? I'ma always salute squad, bro,
100.
because you
Likewise, 100.
you fine tune me, bro. You make sure I'm on my square professionally, you know what I mean? Because I could get just as ratchet as the ratchetest, but they won't get my insight. They won't get the information that I deliver. And I appreciate you for that, yo. With that said, class, I'll be at the school at 3:30 this afternoon today. You know what I mean? And we're gonna be talking about the New York City hell of a mother who drowned her kids. All right? Cause
Oh,
I'm
Whoa.
about
what?
tired of these bitches, yo. Because
Yep.
they come on the channel and then they want to strip with us and they want to play dumb. Like what's a hell of a mother? And they know they a hell of a mother. That's why they asking. You know what I mean? But they play dumb. And then the first thing they say is, but the father, but we continuously get stories like this across our desk. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll be
It's
breaking
crazy.
that down. We'll be breaking
Damn.
that down. And it's crazy because the father was almost getting custody of them kids. So these women hate their kids so they hate the kid father so much that they'll kill the kid. So you drown your kids so that they won't be with their real father.
That shit
These kids,
crazy.
these women is crazy, bro. 3:30, guys.
Wow.
3:30
Damn.
Eastern
Wow.
time.
Damn.
Y'all pay attention. Stay tuned. 3:30 Eastern time. Mr. Goodbread's gonna be in the class. Y'all tune in for that. I'm gonna tune in while I'm at work because I can't miss that one, Mr. Goodbread. I can't. Like you
Yeah,
hit me
me
with it.
neither.
You hit me with something with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Uh,
it happened. It
yeah.
happened 3 days ago, and me and Miss Goodbrad, we looking at the news story, and we like, why they even telling the story like they don't know who killed them infants? Know what I mean, so it takes 3 days for them to realize that the moms killed us. So just today, this morning, they charged the mother with murdering the kids with by drowning. So, know what I mean, I'm going to touch on it. I waited. Son told me wait until they get the charge. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I did. Now we're gonna wrap this whole thing up and I'm gonna kick her drawers in her asshole. You know what I mean?
All
Damn,
right.
man.
Do that, man. Um, y'all check out the channel. Check out the channel, and if y'all haven't done so already, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And Mr. OK will be back at y'all very, very soon. Peace, 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 peace.